Hi, I'm Umbreon Libris, and this is my Pokémon Violet Adventure Journal. I played for quite a long time yesterday, but I didn't bother making a video because I just didn't really accomplish much. I expected the post-game plot to be some kind of expansion or continuation of the main plot, the way it's been for the past several generations. So I was surprised to find out that it's a tournament. Maybe there's more to it after that, but at least for now, it's a tournament. Gita asked me to go and inspect all of the gyms, but I didn't do that right away. Instead, I returned to Area 0, hoping to catch the Futuremon that I didn't have yet. I also took a bunch of weaker Pokemon with me just to get their levels up and evolve them for the Pokedex. I'd already caught Iron Treads, Jugulis, and Bundle before, and thankfully Iron Hands are everywhere. I found and caught one very quickly. Iron Moth are less common, but I still found them very easily and caught one pretty quickly. But then, it was over 2 hours before I found the little hidden cave, and when I went in, I glimpsed the Iron Valiant in the background. That one that I glimpsed despawned pretty quickly, and it was a little while before I was able to find another one. And when I did, I KO'd it with Dazzling Gleam. Again, it was a little while before the next Iron Valiant spawned in. And I knew this time not to use a super effective attack, so instead I went with Hyper Voice and got a critical hit. I think Palindrome was a little overeager. But don't worry, I did eventually catch one. And while I was in the cave, I also noticed these markings on the floor. I don't know what they mean yet, but they gotta mean something. So then I was only missing the Iron Thorns, and I just could not find one. I was going up and down Area 0, checking every biome that I could find, and after over an hour since catching the Iron Valiant, I still had no sign of Iron Thorns. So I took a break and went for a little Union Circle. We did some Delibird raids, some outbreaks, and then finally I went back to Area 0. And it still took me another 20 minutes and hints from 2 other people about where they had found Iron Thorns before I was able to find and catch my own. And that's all I did yesterday. Today was a lot more eventful. The main project was doing all of the gym rematches. I started with Katie and then went clockwise around the map. For each battle, I was bringing a mixed team. There were the 3 members of my A team that were not yet at level 70, and then 2 members from my B team, which at this point have been a little bit neglected and were about 10 levels behind what the gym leaders had. And then the 6th Pokemon slot was just for experience for the decks. Kofu was the only one who was able to beat me the first time. The team that I had with me just wasn't great for water types. But I changed their order a little bit, planned a bit better, and the rematch went well. Larry gave me a good challenge, but just not as good as the first time. When I was on the way to battle Rhyme, though, I decided to detour for a bit to go look for a Spiritomb. There was a particular spot where a Spiritomb had spawned before, and I battled it and tried to catch it, but accidentally KO'd it. So I decided to go check it out, just in case another one showed up. And I didn't find a Spiritomb, but I found a Black Stake. And it turned out it was actually the last one for the Ground Blight Shrine. And when I unlocked it, I met Ting Lu. It's not quite as appealing as Wo Chen was for me, but I love the design of the bull as horns. It looks really cool. I, of course, was trying to be very careful about trying to catch it, whittling down its HP, putting it to sleep, but at one point, at already very low HP, Ting Lu got itself poisoned on Boggs' poison point. I had one opportunity to catch it, but it broke out of the Ultra Ball and fainted. So Ting Lu was actually resealed in the shrine, but I couldn't reopen it right away. So I made my way back towards Montenevera, and on the way, I did find and catch a Spiritomb. Rhyme did catch me off guard a little bit when her Mimikyu one-hit KO'd bot, but even so, Wild went on to annihilate the entire rest of her team. Grusha was actually the one who gave me the best battle. We were both down to our last Pokemon, and Ziggurat, at already about 50% HP, missed a Stone Edge. Thankfully, he's got pretty good special defense, so that wasn't my last opportunity. I Terastallized to guarantee the KO, and then missed again. But we still had one more opportunity, and this time, thankfully, he hit the Stone Edge and clinched the win with a critical hit for good measure. Next up was Iono, who crashed my game. And then when I finally got back and did the battle, it was disappointingly easy thanks to just having Earthquake. But the easiest battle was actually against Brassius. His Lilligant allowed Riri to set up with Calm Mind and then just sweep the entire team. The only thing that stopped her was truly Wudo's Sturdy. After that, I headed towards the last gym in Alfordanada because I honestly forgot about Tulip. Her gym is just such a point outside the curve, I completely forgot that I still had to go over there. Before doing the actual gym battle, I tried knockout mode ESP with Dendra, and it does get faster, it gets a little bit more difficult as you go, but it doesn't get any more interesting. I was at 49 exercises when I finally misclicked and was knocked out, and that earned me 5 Pomeg berries, which is definitely not worth my time. In the actual battle with Tulip, between Bot and Annihilate, again, it was pretty easy. So with all of the inspections done, I returned to Groundblight Shrine, and it was thankfully unlocked again. It must be a one-a-day kind of thing, per in-game day specifically. I was worried that it was going to be either real-world day or even like rematching the Elite Four the way it used to be, but thankfully that was not the case. So it still took some careful battling, but I did manage to catch it. Back at the academy, I invited Gita over to my room so that I could give her the report on the gym inspection. No hanky-panky, don't worry, I'm not going to betray my wife who's like that. And 1 week later, the Academy Ace tournament is ready. It's a little bit disappointing that Nimona herself won't be competing, but maybe Gita will put up a real fight this time. I didn't quite feel like doing the tournament right away though, so instead I returned to Area 0 to get more evolutions for the Pokédex. While I was there, I did notice 2 things that I had not seen before for some reason. The first was this plaque with another unusual geometric shape. Again, it must mean something, but I don't know what yet. And the second was the second Miraidon. It was just kind of hanging out there waiting to be found, but I didn't interact with it yet, so there will be plenty to do tomorrow. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next chapter.